Hello everyone, welcome to the stock market outlook for the week of October 24th. I'm Corey Mitchell, and I do these every week because I follow a process of looking at overall market conditions. Then I look for, if those are good, then I start looking for strong or weak stocks depending on whether the market's strong or weak, and then I look for specific patterns within those stocks, and then I look for trade triggers which actually get me into the trade. So this is the process. So it all starts out with overall market conditions, and I'm looking at a few different things to determine that. So let's get to it. I first look at how the indices are acting. I have multiple indices up here, the NASDAQ, more technology, NYSE, wide array of stocks, small cap stocks with the Russell, S&P 500 with large cap stocks, and then some Canadian indexes over here which are more commodity based. And we can see right now, since late August, in all these, they're pretty much all the same, which is also lets us know stocks are pretty highly correlated at the moment. They're all moving together, so most stocks are performing poorly right now. And we can see these waves down, small pullback, waves down, pullback, waves down. So we're making lower lows, lower highs. That's signs of a downtrend. Until we start to see higher highs, higher lows, it can start small down here, but we need to see those higher highs, higher lows start to build. We're not seeing that quite yet. The only one we're seeing it a bit in is the Russell 2000 made a slightly higher high here, and so far we're holding up above the prior low. So if we start moving up, that'd be the first one that's showing some constructive signs of an uptrend. These other ones need to push above these prior highs, have a pullback to a higher low. So that would give us more confirmation that we've at least started that shift into higher highs, higher lows. Doesn't mean that it's going to create a massive bull market, but you can see over here, once we started to get some higher highs, higher lows, it did at least lead to a short-term uptrend. So that's what we're watching for from a price action perspective in those. Let's move on to the health indicators. Have them all up here. I should point out, did I mention it up there? No, we'll get to it here. 29% of S&P 500 stocks are above their 50-day moving average. 32% of all U.S. stocks are above their 50-day. So that's still pretty low, but you can see it's starting to move up. We were at pretty low levels a few weeks ago, and we're starting to climb back up a bit. And you can see generally when we are above that 50% low, meaning half of stocks are above their 50-day moving average, you're just going to be more in an uptrending environment. It's going to be a little bit easier to make money. When we're below that 50%, we're generally down near the lows, chopping around or moving lower. So much easier to make money once we are above that 50. This one we've had, volume was important. We had a follow-through day on October 21st. A follow-through day is simply a higher volume day than the prior, and we move up more than 1.5%. Within 4 to 7 days of the low. It can take a little bit longer, but 4 to 7 days is ideal. So we were on day 7. This was our first day up, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh day. Follow-through days. Every major rally starts with a follow-through day, but as you can see, they don't always work out. So it's one of those ones, it occurs every time, but it doesn't indicate that it's going to be a major bull run to follow. But it is usually our first sign to start accumulating some stocks. In this case, we actually had a upside thrust day called the Lowry Upside Day on the 17th, where we had 94% upside volume, skipping down a couple indicators. And that means 94% of the volume that went through that day was in stocks moving to the upside. So that was on this day here. It doesn't look very significant, but a significant volume and upside movement day. So that was actually our first signal that we were near a bottom. And follow-through day to follow is really nice. This is the NYSE advanced decline line. It had been trending lower. We flattened out a little bit. Nothing positive or negative here. We'd expect to see that as the S&P 500 improves. So what we'd really want to see for this to indicate anything good would be just like I was talking about with the price action, higher highs, higher lows. This shows how much the S&P 500 is moving per day in percent, and big numbers are not good. 2% and up usually shows volatile conditions. We can see we're still in volatile conditions. Back here, I think it was about November 16th, we had or 14th, we had a downside day of 2.3%. We can see the actual numbers. October 14th, 2.37%. And then we had one a week before on October 7th at 2.8%. So that indicator is poor right now. It's still showing volatile conditions. When we are in an uptrend, a strong bull market uptrend that's persistent, we're going to get indicator values that look much more like this little area here, where they're very small. We're moving up 0.5% today, we're moving down 0.5% today, but we don't really have these really big moves. The market is complacent, it's happy, it's just drifting up, and that's more signs of a market uptrend. Basically, this whole thing that we're seeing here is signs of a downtrend, big volatile periods. The ultimate indicator I look for is how trades are actually working, how stocks are moving. So, you can run a scan every now and again, even if you're not trading, just to look at some stocks that set up the patterns you trade, that I trade, and see how they've acted. If they've broken out and then fall right back, that's not a good sign. And we know that we're already supposed to be out because market conditions are poor, but we can start to see those trades build up and see how they're acting. So that's what I'm watching for right now. It's going to be interesting to see next week. We had the follow-through day on Friday. We've had that little push up in the indices. So let's see, anything that broke out last week that's been acting strong, let's see how it acts next week. If it holds up well, I might start deploying some capital. I'm okay missing a couple trades right at the beginning. If we start a bull run, we're right at the beginning, and they can last years. So no rush to jump in. Conditions are still not great, but they're starting to improve. So this is really what I'm mostly focusing on right now. If I start to see some really nice stocks set up, and I've seen some other ones run recently just looking at prior charts, then I'm happy. I did update the best swing trading stocks page just based on the follow-through day. I usually update this once a month, but I updated it now instead of at the end of the month. And you can just see some of the really strong stocks. So you can go through, see how these have been acting recently, look for ones that are setting up now as one possible strategy. Sectors on the move, mostly energy, by far the strongest. We have also basic materials, healthcare, financials, industrials, holding up well across the time frame. So basically these ones that are over the month, and they're in the upper half here on the 3-month as well. Technology was strong this week, but it's still pretty weak overall. So this could just be a weak bounce, whereas these other ones have been holding up a little bit better for a longer amount of time. So those are the ones probably more interested in. You can scan for all stocks when you run your scans. This is more just if you want to focus in on some sectors that are doing really well. In terms of what I'm doing right now, I'm not buying swing trade or not going long quite yet in the swing trades. I want conditions to improve a little bit more, and mainly I want to see how stocks are actually acting after a couple breakouts. So I don't mind letting a couple trades go by if that means my timing improves and I'm deploying capital a bit better time, because it's been a tough year. So if we kept deploying capital every time things started to improve a little bit, probably would have lost quite a bit of money this year. So by just waiting a little bit, having a tiny bit of patience will pay off in this type of scenario. I'm always day trading. It's been a great year for day trading stocks or currencies. You can see how I day trade the Euro USD. A stock day trading course is coming out. I'm just wrapping up the slides for it, and then I'll start filming. So hopefully that will be in the next month or so that will be coming out. And if you're interested in this swing trading method, you can check out the Complete Method stock swing trading course. Covers everything for how to analyze markets for yourself, what patterns to trade, what stocks to trade, how to find them, pretty much everything you need. And that is your market health outlook for the week of October 24th. Until next time, happy trading.